So back to the point, and I am really happy that Mr. Atif at least at last got the chance to speak, because when two ladies are talking, it's very difficult to get the chance. So I'm happy you got the chance to speak. Okay, coming back towards the main audience. Main audience is our students. So when we are talking about the teachers training, that we are providing the trainings, we are providing the facilities. See, when we are talking about teachers, they are resources. They are resource provider. They are there, any hook or crook, they will train themselves, they will be there. Now, as Miss Zeenat said about the teachers, students, that they were not ready about using the technology for teaching and learning. Yes, they are ready to use the technology, it was there, but we all know that students, even if I'm gonna go for any course or university for learning, of course I will behave like a student and I will be, resisting. I will pray the teacher will be absent, or I'm not gonna attend the class, or I will get any chance to, bunk, or, have fun or talk to my friends. So it's in the nature that we will resist from learning. So imagine if I'm gonna get a chance and I'm gonna have something like the teachers are not able to see me, or I'm just keeping my screen there, and naughty students, they are providing the pictures that the teachers can see that they are working and they are enjoying or sleeping. I should not give only about the students' experience when I'm visiting and I'm attending the classes while doing the observation. Students, you're calling their name 10, 11 times, and after that they are saying, oh, sorry, I was sleeping, or I was in the kitchen, I was having coffee, that's why I was not answering. So in this situation, we understand that the students are ready to use the technology, but they, as per their nature, they will resist. First thing. Second thing that will be very important. Imagine right now you cannot see me and I'm talking. You all will be listening to me, but you will not understand my emotions, my physical, appearance, or my body language when I'm talking about. There will be understanding when I'm talking about something. Out of 100, maybe 20 or 30% will be going to your brain. Remaining, it will be in air. But when you can have a physical interaction, automatically the understanding level will be more. And when we are talking about the students, and we don't have to forget that we are not talking about students who are 10, 11, 12 or 16, 17-year-old. We are talking about students who are even 3-year-old or 4-year-old. It is very difficult to, teach those students when they are sitting in the class. Imagine the situation when we are teaching them online. Miskin parents. I can see more than students, the parents are suffering. They have to sit with them continuously. I see the, parents' feedback that my child is in KG1 or KG2. And when we are trying to, the teachers are teaching more than them, we are the one who are begging them, please write ABC. So it's not only about the students, it's all about so many issues which we can see, like even sitting in the developed city like UAE or US or Canada, we all are facing the same issue at some point. It's not only about the technical issues, it's all about that students are not feeling motivated. Only those who are feeling motivated are the one who are taking it as a responsibility. I have two kids, mashallah. One is 9-year-old who is in grade 4, and one is, he will be 4-year-old. He will be in KG. From now, I'm really scared that it's very difficult to teach him for the KG, because he will never sit properly. First of all, he is a boy, so always having a, jumping here and there and not taking teaching seriously. Now coming towards the daughter who is 9-year-old and she's in grade, 4. She understands that she has to open the laptop in time. She has to click on this link to open the resources. So I can see one thing very clearly, that if the students are already not motivated or not interested, it's very difficult for them to learn or teach. So for us, it's very important to have these discussions and come up with a good solution for the future, because these kids are our future.
Absolutely. I think very interesting points. I can see Dr. Zeenat is smiling to the points. Would you like to add something before we move on to the next question?
Yeah, thank you, Atif. I think this is where a lot of we actually we do look at the naughty kids, right? Because they are the ones that stand out for us always, or the really smart ones that stand out for us. But it's about going beyond that and looking at what's happening. And a lot of the times you will find students, particularly when they moved to the online platform, we have to remember they've never done this before, so they didn't know how to take that responsibility that we were expecting them to take. And you're right, we had students who were 3 years old, 6 years old, 9 years old, 14 years old, of course, in university. But
so if we are going to take a ratio out of 100, most of like 30% or 40% people around the world, they are facing technical issues, or they are facing this. If they are having the technical issues, how they're going to go for the studies? How they're going to use those resources or the technology if they don't have the basic facility to connect? The other way of teaching or these things will be the second point. So I agree about all the points which Mr. Atif said, and
I think the leading question to this would be, as a technology professional, what are the key opportunities which have arisen from this COVID-19 crisis?
See, what we have observed, when we had a last discussion on the panel, it's an honor to have the third time I'm having the session with you all. So what I observed when this all pandemic situation came, it was a panic situation for every single field in the world. And we saw in education as well that everybody was worried that if we all are going to be isolated at home, we are going to face this issue. How are we going to teach the students? Because we cannot keep the holidays or the vacations for a month or two months. So we saw that all the, specialists towards the education, they come up with the solutions. Most of the, the people were using the technology, but now we saw that it was forced for everyone to use the technology in an appropriate way and to connect. Otherwise, they were left behind. Still, we have the countries or the places they are facing this issue, but we saw people who wanted to be in the field of education. I'm talking about at the basis of the business. If they wanted to stay in this business, they worked hard, they found out the solutions, they went for the Zoom or Team or the Google Classroom, but they found out the solution that they have to start teaching and they have to use the resources. Then came up with the people who had the online platforms. Those people started providing the resources to them. They started providing the trainings to the teachers. The teachers, we saw if previous years, 2 or 3 years back, when they were resisting to get updated and get, more motivated or more, friendly towards using the technology, they were resisting. But we saw that on a single, point, they all were forced to learn about these things, to use the technology, because they were supposed to stay teaching because it was their passion. But they were, resisting, and they were happily using the old methods of teaching. But when this point came that you have to use the technology if you want to keep, teaching, they started learning. They started doing all the courses, and we started watching that the courses free, online teaching and learning courses that was costed thousands of dirhams. All of a sudden, they were free of cost, and all the teachers started learning a lot. And even same thing happened with the parents who were resisting. They don't know how to open the laptop, or they don't know how to open the software. They started learning how to use these applications because they wanted to take care of their kids who were learning online. So we saw that all of a sudden world was up and down, and they all started learning these things, and the online or the level of teaching or the way of teaching and learning from here, it's the bar rising up. So everyone updated their self, and who didn't update, they are going to be, in a bad situation or in the bad, thing in the next few years.
I totally agree. On the side note, some schools we can say they were all ready, because they already had so many technologies, softwares they were using. But I had a very, funny conversation with some of the schools where the IT teams were not really taken seriously, and during this pandemic, they became like the
most important people. I 100% agree. So, and even I can sorry to interrupt, I can second you about the companies who were offering the online resources. Trust me, before, when they were coming to us and they were trying to offer their online resources, we were like, we are okay with using those books, physical books, because parents, students love that, and teachers love to highlight and mark. All of a sudden, our interest was to search the online resources from the market, who can provide us the better interactive learning resources. All of a sudden, the world was changed. The market was changed.
Yeah. And another conversation with, before I move on to, Ms. Zeenat, was that, back in the days, the IT team would also want the teachers to get involved in trainings. And this was after school. So a lot of teachers chose not to get involved on on those trainings, and they'll say, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. But this became such an important aspect that they had to stay back after they finished their online classes and go through that training, 1 hour, 2 hours training with the IT team, and then they were they had to go home. So it's of course a lot of positive has come out, and it has given the schools, technology companies, and everyone to have a second thought about all the solutions. I would move on.